Have you ever wondered where your rights come from? Why do we have governments? And what happens when they go wrong? A philosopher from over 300 years ago, John Locke, answered these questions in a way that literally changed the world. Locke believed that every single person is born with three fundamental natural rights: the right to life, the right to liberty, and the right to property. Think about that for a second. These rights aren't gifts from a king or a government. You have them simply because you exist. And here's the kicker. No government has the authority to take them away. So, if we already have these rights, why do we even need governments? This is where Locke's brilliant idea of the social contract comes in. He argued that we, the people, voluntarily create governments for one main reason: to protect our natural rights. It's like hiring a security guard for our freedoms. We give up a tiny bit of our absolute freedom, like the freedom to do whatever we want, whenever we want, in exchange for a system that protects our life, liberty, and property from being harmed by others. But what happens if the government we created fails at its job? What if, instead of protecting our rights, it starts violating them? According to Locke, the contract is broken if the government becomes a threat to the people's rights. The people have not just the right, but the duty to alter or even overthrow it and create a new one. This single idea was like a political earthquake. It directly inspired revolutions across the globe, including the American Revolution. When Thomas Jefferson wrote "Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Happiness" in the Declaration of Independence, he was channeling John Locke. This leads to another groundbreaking concept: government by consent. Locke argued that a legitimate government can only rule with the consent of the governed. That means we, the people, must agree to the laws and the leaders who enforce them. This shattered the centuries-old idea of the divine right of kings, which claimed that monarchs were chosen by God and had absolute power. Locke said, "No way. Power comes from the people, not from above." Beyond politics, Locke also had a revolutionary idea about the human mind. He called it tabula rasa, which is Latin for blank slate. He believed that when we are born, our minds are empty. We don't have any innate ideas. All of our knowledge, our beliefs, and our personalities are built from our experiences and our environment. This idea was a game changer for education and psychology. It suggested that anyone, regardless of their birth, could become anything through proper education and experience. It emphasized nurture over nature and laid the groundwork for modern learning theories. Finally, Locke was a huge advocate for toleration and freedom. He argued for religious tolerance, believing that no one should be forced to follow a certain faith. He championed freedom of thought and expression. He also insisted on limited government power, believing that the government should have just enough power to protect our rights and no more. These principles became the cornerstones of modern liberal and democratic societies around the world. So, from the rights you hold dear to the very structure of your government, John Locke's influence is everywhere. He wasn't just a philosopher writing in an old book. He was an architect of the modern world. He gave us the language and the logic to demand freedom, justice, and a government that truly serves the people. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the ideas that shape our world. See you next time.